What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another interesting episode of Lockdown 23-1. And today we are entering into the belly of the beast behind the walls of the state penitentiary. That's right. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about what to do if you get robbed in prison. And you know, a lot of people are like, man, I'm not ever going to prison. Why am I even watching this? I can't stop watching it though. Well, there's a lot of individuals, and I'm about to have a couple on the show as well, that are facing, a lot of time, they're going to be turning themselves in within the next month or so for a lot of time. So this is great information for them, and keep in mind, all information and tactics that I give to a person is strictly based upon that individual in itself. One man's direction is not going to be the same direction that I might give the next man. Okay, so always keep that in mind. You can't give the same person the same information every time, because it ain't gonna work. You can't give one guy that is obviously able to handle himself and knows the streets some information that you would give to another individual that you can tell ain't never gonna be able to handle himself in prison, even if he throws his fists on a regular basis. And everyone says, man, as long as you throw your fist, you'll have respect. No, you freaking won't, dog. No one cares if you try to fight. No one cares. Where I'm from, you get respect from winning the fight. You know what I mean? Winning the fight. If you don't win the fight, you're going to be the joke of the block next day. The prisons I come from, people have no principles. They will rob you blind and not give a damn. They will lie, manipulate you, and try to talk you out your food, money, and draws. But before we get into what to do if you get robbed, you know, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I've done some robbings in prison. I know I'm not proud of it. But look, when I first went to prison, what I was doing out in the streets was robbing people. That's what I did, and I loved it. Like I said, man, a lot of people be like, man, why you even have that dude on the show? He's a lowlife, bro. Back in the day, I was way more than a lowlife than half these cats I've had on the show. But the man that I was in the past is nothing like the man I am today. People can definitely change. But when I first went to prison, I'm going to show you a quick photo. It's not that good quality of a photo because it was on a Polaroid. And I made a video called Love Letters. Love Letters in Prison. I showed a lot of my prison photos and a lot of letters that I created, artwork, to my wife. Go check it out. It's called Love Letters in Prison. You will see it. It's only got like 4,000 views. One of my very earliest videos, but it has a lot of pictures of me in prison and growing up through prison. But this picture right here should show you a little bit about what kind of character and maybe who I chilled with in prison. I mean, look at it. This was the time and age when cigarettes were still in prison, lighters, individuals still rock those tall tees, those long tees, you know what I mean? Look at my pants. They're about 5 times bigger than the size that I needed. I was a freaking hoodlum on the streets and when I entered prison for the very first time. But I changed. I changed dramatically after going to prison, and it wasn't until after I left prison when I really started to change. You know, during my first ride into the penitentiary, I was doing all kinds of dirt. All kinds of dirt. I was stealing left and right, not always from inmates, but from correctional officers, counselors, sergeants, lieutenants. I was taking stuff all the time. I still had that thieving mentality, you know, and God, it makes me sick because thieves is like, I hate thieves more than anything. Thieves, liars, people that mess with little kids. That stuff's like the bottom of the bucket to me. But anyways, I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I robbed someone in prison. All right, don't judge me. You know, for real, dude owed it to me. But anyways, once again, we're back at the poker table. Back at the poker table, and I won a lot of money. I won a lot of money. 2 guys didn't have enough money to pay me. One of the dudes I was pretty close with, and I knew he was good for it. The other guy was an old head. Old head, he was like 6'2", but really lanky. We called him the Marlboro Man. Reason being, he smoked a lot of Marlboros. And I did borrow quite a bit of Marlboros from him because back in the day, like I said, they sold Newports, Marlboro Reds. We would bring cartons of cigarettes to the poker table. That was the main source of money in prison. So Marlboro Man started off with a carton, which was, I believe was $50 back then. Okay, and $50 in prison is quite a bit of money. So long story short, he ran through his carton of Marlboros, and I was winning everything. Okay, me and one other guy was winning everything, but the other dude that was winning everything cashed out. He cashed out, and I played a couple hands after that, and I just so happened to make a huge lick on the Marlboro Man. He went all in, and I went all in, and I licked up. You know what I mean? So we leave the poker table, we go back to collect the earnings and stuff, and Marlboro Man's like, yeah, man, I'm a little short. He was short by like 4 packs of cigarettes, and he's like, I'm gonna get you back on store day, man. That's my word. I promise. And you know what? I respected it. You know what I mean? He already kicked out a lot of money, so I was like, all right, it's cool, man. It's cool. I'll wait. So a few days went past, and this guy was steady smoking his cigarettes, Marlboros. I'm like, man, that dude's smoking a lot of Marlboros to not have any more cigarettes left when he could have paid me them janks. You know what I mean? So his celly, I was pretty close with his celly. We used to work out in the weight pit almost every day. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to run up on his celly and ask him a few things. You know what I mean? I didn't ask him because I knew he would deny it. I knew he would deny having any kind of extra cigarettes, whatever the case is. So I went to homeboy, man. I said, hey, does your celly got any cigarettes, man? Is he sitting on a bunch of packs of cigarettes? Because he owes me 4 packs. And dude was like, yeah, man, he's strapped with cigs. He's got plenty in his cell. I said, man, damn. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? The dude's carrying me. He lied to my face, or supposedly lied to my face. So I'm like, damn, man, you know, I'm going to have to get my freaking cigarettes. I still have that mindset like, hey, I need what's mine. You know what I mean? And for real, I'm going to get into what to do in certain situations like this in here in a second. But anyways, I said, bro, where does he keep his cigarettes? And he's like, bro, he keeps all his cigarettes inside of his oatmeal pie box. Oatmeal pies, okay? They used to sell these boxes of oatmeal pies, you know, and they look like a carton of cigarettes. And that's where he kept them, he said. So I walk back to the cell where Marlboro Man's at. He's in there by himself, and I approach him. I say, hey, and you keep in mind, you know, Marlboro Man's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. He's tall, but you can tell he don't have heart like that. You can look him in his eyes and just tell he's about that easygoing life and trying. But, you know, you never know. When people are pushed up against a wall, they turn into wild animals. But that was just a risk I was willing to take. He was messing with my pride, you know what I mean, by saying he ain't have no cigarettes. So I went in there, I said, look, your celly said you keep your cigarettes in the oatmeal box, man. You mind if I see the oatmeal box? And he says, nah, man. You ain't gonna come in here and search my cell, you know. I'm like, all right, man, bet. I didn't say nothing else. I just said, you know, all right, man, and walked out. So I let it go about 5-6 hours until nighttime came and he went to get in the shower. I ran up in his cell and stole all the freaking cigarettes I found. This dude had about 13 packs of Marlboro. So I didn't just take the 4 packs he owed me. I took all of them. All of them janks. I guess he didn't realize until the next morning. Maybe he already had an open pack out and he was smoking off that. But the next morning he comes out of his cell and he starts screaming, who went in my cell, stole my cigarettes? He should have known it was me. So after he was done with his little rah-rah spiel out in the pod, he walked back in his cell and I walked in. I said, look, bro, you already know, man, that I took those freaking cigarettes. If you got a problem with it, you lied to my face. As a man, you lied to my face when you could have easily paid your debt. I took every last cigarette you got. If you got a problem with it, come to the cell and handle it. So I walked back into my cell, just walked out and around. It's right there. The cell's right there. Walked in the cell and dude got up like he was going to do something. Walked up to the cell and just stared at me at the front of the door. You know what I mean? I'm squared up, ready to go. Of course, I had a weapon on me. I'm not going to get into detail on what kind of weapon I had, but I had a weapon on me just for safe measure because the dude was a lot bigger than me, a lot taller than me at least. Then all of a sudden he started talking to me and copping pleas, and you know what? Long story short, I kicked him back every pack of cigarette that I stole except for the 4 that he owed me. We killed the debt. Next day we were at the poker table gambling again. I swear to God, man, we were about to get it in, man. I was about to trick up my time over those packs of cigarettes, but I didn't care, man. You know, I didn't care. And you know, there were other situations. I had someone take something from me, and I still to this day don't know who the hell it was. I do not know. I don't think it was myself. It was crazy because it was in jail, and we had like 6, 7 cellmates in one cell. So, I mean, only God knows who took it. You know, stuff like that happens to the best of us. I've seen a little tiny dude. Okay, tiny dude. We called him Squirrel. He had HIV, man. This dude had stole from someone huge. He was huge, man. We caught him in the act stealing from someone that would have just annihilated him, you know. But thieves are thieves, man. They don't think before they act. All they're thinking about is, you know, getting away scotch-free. And that's what keeps them going. But it happens to the best of us. You know, there's a lot of thieves out there that don't care about if they win or lose. It's just simply because they do not think they're going to get caught. Sooner or later, you will, though. You know, in jail and prison, it seems as though there's always going to be someone watching. But now that we got that story out the way, let's talk about what to do if you do get robbed in prison. There's only like 2 or 3 things that you can do if you happen to get robbed in prison, all right? First off, you know, if you walk into your cell and a lot of your stuff is gone and you have no earthly idea who did it, you can either walk around quietly, and ask like that. Ask random people that you might think of might have stole your stuff. Ask them and look them in their eyes and see what kind of answers they give you and characteristics they give off, depending if you can read people like that. But most of the time, I'm gonna tell you, this is exactly what happens. If someone gets robbed and they don't know who did it, typically they do what Marlboro Man did. They'll come out in a pod and be like, which one of y'all punk mother effers came out here and stole my stuff? If I catch you, don't let me catch you. I'ma hurt you, man. I'ma slice you. You know, they'll come out there with the rah-rah talk, and everyone's kind of laughing at them, and at the same time, the one that did rob him is down there looking at him serious because, you know, that's another thing. I've watched this before happen. I knew people that went in to sell and robbed someone, and the guy came out rah-rah talking, screaming to the whole pod saying, you know, what happened. And the ones that didn't do nothing are usually the ones that are laughing. The ones that did do something are the ones that are actually looking with a serious face. Yeah, you would think it's kind of opposite, but more than likely, it's the ones with the serious face. And there's a key to trying to spot it. But then again, even if you think you spotted the person that might have done it or have any kind of, you know, guesses on who did it, I mean, you can't prove it, so what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do unless someone tells you that it happened or you literally caught the man red-handed, you know. But unfortunately, if no one saw it, you didn't see it, no one else saw it, and no one tells you, there's nothing you can do besides come out in a pod and scream out like a wild man and, you know, let people know that pretty much you're going to be watching your shit much better now, you know, and if someone does it again, you got something for them. That's about all you can do. Now, if someone robs you and you catch them in the act, look, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but almost every time, you know, if you don't do something right then on the spot, it's just going to be trouble for you later on down the road. Now, if there's like 3 dudes robbing you at one time and you walk in on it, I mean, that's up to you. More likely, you're going to get beat the hell out of. You know what I mean? But you can fight for yours. That's all entirely up to you. Will you get respect for fighting the 3 dudes and getting jumped and beat up? Maybe a little bit. But what the hell is respect? What's respect if you just got beat the hell out of? You know what I mean? Respect means nothing because you're going to be carried out the block and no one's going to see you again for the rest of your bid, more than likely. Of course, people will be like, okay, at least he tried. At least he tried. But guess what? 5 minutes later, they're back to their poker table. They're not even thinking twice about you. That's how it goes, man. People are like, oh yeah, that's really going to resonate with the people in the block. It's really going to resonate in their mind that you really stuck up for yourself. It ain't going to resonate in their freaking minds. They're worried about the streets, worried about going home, worried about not getting shanked in the back, worried about making that next lick on the poker table. They don't care if you just got jumped. They might talk about it for about 1 day, and that's it. So it's up to you. You know what I mean? Certain situations, you know, people roll up and roll out. You know, I've seen people get robbed like 2 or 3 times in a month, and they got tired of it. They packed their stuff. They said, I got to get the hell out of here, you know. Sometimes that's just what you got to do, you know. Go watch 60 Days In. See how many people got rolled up out that freaking block? Even though it was in different situations, they were kind of forcing them to roll out, when really, in the jails and prisons I've been in, they ain't going to ask you to roll out. They're just going to beat the hell out of you until you roll out. You know, that was kind of weird about 60 Days In. They actually asked people, look, you're going to have to roll out, buddy. You're going to have to roll out or else we're going to jump you. And the green light's going to be on you. So yeah, I mean, it's very simple. There's 3 things that you can do. If you didn't catch an individual, you're going to have to scream out to the pod. I recommend you going out in the open square and letting everyone know exactly someone robbed you. You know what I mean? Say, don't come in my cell again or else I'm going to handle it, you know? And then, you know, you're going to be paranoid about buying stuff. You're going to always be watching. You're going to be worried about going to the yard or going to the shower because someone's going to run up in your cell when you do it. And typically, those are the #1 times when people do it. Either they go to chow, they go to the shower, or they go to the yard. And that's when people run up in the cell because they don't have to go. They can stay in the block. You know, I've stayed in the block with like 4 other individuals and just sat there and played poker when it was a beautiful day outside. When everybody left the block, man, there's like 20 cells that easily, all 4 of us could have robbed. But we didn't. I'm just saying, you know, when people go out to do those kind of activities, that's when you get got. And then, of course, you can stand up for yourself and think you're doing the right thing and getting respect within the block for fighting it out. You know, it might happen like that in some jails or prisons. But like I said, for the most part, man, you know, people ain't gonna really care if you fight or not, man. They're doing their own time. They ain't really worried about you and your simple robbery. You gotta remember, people are bored in jail and prison, so this stuff happening is raw entertainment to them. You know, you sit there and watch shows where people are breaking into freaking stores and they get caught. It's the same damn way in prison, but you're watching it live and in action. People watch videos of homeboys getting beat up and jumped and knocked out on the streets. It's the same damn thing in prison. Okay? It's entertainment to 99% of these inmates. They don't care about respect, man. They don't care about that stuff for real. They don't care that you stood up for yourself. They care about the entertainment. You can sit there on the other side of your device and say, nah, that I care about the respect. I care about respect. But for real, if you've done time, you know damn well within one day you'd be back to your normal routine and not thinking twice about homeboy standing up for himself. You know, prison's a gladiator camp. Dog eat dog world, man. You know, I've seen people go to the showers. I've seen this 2 or 3 times. People go to the showers. You know, you hang up your clothes and usually it's on the outside or on the floor of the shower. I've seen people steal all their clothes straight up when they're washing the soap out their hair. You know what I mean? And then they have to walk out the freaking shower butt naked to their cell. I can't even imagine how humiliating that is. You know, on the streets, I've seen a lot of people get beat up, stripped butt naked and left there to walk home or walk back to their cell butt naked. You know, that's humiliating for real. And you would think people would be like, damn, that's messed up. There are a few people that are like, man, that's messed up. But you're going to see way more people laughing their ass off at you walking back to your cell or walking down the street butt naked. Crazy, man. Crazy. Sometimes I don't know how the hell I survived that damn hellhole called the penitentiary. But I did, and now I'm here speaking in front of this camera, telling y'all my stories. But anyways, I hope this video helped you in some sort of fashion. You know, there's really nothing you can do if you don't know who robbed you. And that's typically what happens. You will never know who robbed you, and you just gotta come in the pod and exclaim your dominance to everyone. It's the best thing you can do. Or if you catch them, you can either decide to throw hands or pack your bags and move on out. Some people, no matter how hard they say they are not really built for that gladiator life, man. They're too scared. Too scared to have their jaw broke, their teeth shattered and smashed in, and their nose split in half. I mean, when you see someone get beat like that, okay, it ain't like these fights that you see in UFC. All right, it's not. I've seen people with their teeth completely shattered from an uppercut. They can't even eat anything salty, drink anything cold or hot because the pain is so excruciating. I don't know if you ever experienced any teeth being shattered. I haven't. All I had was one tooth cracked in the back from a fight, and that damn thing hurt. Now, if you got your whole fronts shattered, looking like you just chewed up a bunch of freaking glass, man, it will put a whole new perspective on fighting. Or you see someone punch someone, one punch and their head caves in, you're going to think twice about fighting for respect. Trust and believe, man. That ain't the name of the game. Name of the game in the penitentiary is shank game. If you're small and weak, 99% of the chance they're getting a shank. Anyways, do not forget to check out all the links in the description of the video. Hit that like and subscribe and share button. I never say share button. Today I'm saying share. And as always, I salute to every last one of you who've been supporting me since the beginning and everyone who's just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be easy, be safe. And happy St. Patrick's Day.